shamanism. We have some very interesting guests on the show. We have Patrick Fuss, Robert Pearman, who are both shamanic healers. We also have Trevor Beaumont, who he experienced some spiritual healing, and he's also a trainee. And on phone, we have Anika, who experienced some soul retrieval, something that we're talking about a little bit earlier, but just before the break we had mentioned exorcism. I know that's more related to Christianity, and that's the practice of removing demons or bad spirits from the body.
So retrieving,
how does a shaman view exorcism? What is that like for you guys?
Alright, what we call exorcism is an extraction. And again, the principles that the shaman works with, one of them is Munai, which means be as thou art, or it's love. The energy center for Munai consciousness is in the heart. So with that being one of our main principles, even in the extraction process, it is something done with love. So for us, energy that does not serve the individual anymore, be it spirit, whatever you want to call it, that needs to be extracted. And through the extraction process, the lineage that we learned coming over from Inca shamanism, it would take 3 participants. One would send energy through the body to dislodge that energy that doesn't serve any purpose anymore. Another would track, so seeing through their third eye, looking on the spiritual physiology of the individual.
Third eye.
Right. They'd see where that energy is moving, and then the third individual would coax it out. So they communicate with it, find out why is it here, now that it's done its purpose, why is it still with this individual, and try to get it into the light. It's not
as opposed to the theatrical power of Christ that fills you and fight you. It's more very calm, loving process.
Right. But you can, credit the Christians of trying to.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, it's the same concept that they're trying to achieve.
It's just, again, it's more than fighting.
Right.
While we come from the perspective of love and say, all right, you've been there, you don't really serve that person, or maybe it had a purpose for some time, and then you just lovingly track it and you
get it to come out
and bring it back to the light.
Something else that we spoke about was soul retrieval, and
so I know of extraction, right?
Yeah. As opposed to getting it out, you're trying to pull it back in.
Yes.
And somebody who has gone through that already is Anika. Anika, do you want us to? Well, first of all, welcome to Uncensored.
Hi.
Good to have you.
And do you want to tell us about this soul retrieval? What actually happened in the process, and where did your soul go?
Okay, well, my background is in psychology, right? So in terms of soul retrieval, you can almost think of it as a dissociative experience. So when a person goes through something very traumatic, it could be a breakup, it could be abuse, it could be in terms of like loss of a parent or something like that. The belief is that a part of the soul can go away. It can go with that person. So you often hear people saying, I feel like a part of me is missing because this person isn't around anymore. In a sense, that practice of soul retrieval is almost as if it helps the person to bring back those lost aspects of themselves. So if you were to take it from a psychological standpoint, it's almost as if you're working with the person's past, their own defense mechanisms of repression and putting things away in a dark corner. Don't want to deal with them. But soul retrieval takes it from a spiritual aspect. So my experience with it was very healing, and it had a lot to do with what I didn't get to experience with my father, because he had Parkinson's for quite a long time. And before I lost him in life, when he passed away, I had lost him over a period of years to the disease. So I didn't get to have that experience of bonding with him, and I missed out on a lot of things. So the experience of soul retrieval almost was like a group therapy, per se, if you want to put it in layman's terms. And it helped me to move on and to receive the healing that I needed, and to almost also hear messages from my father. That's where the spirit comes in. And Robert had channeled my dad pretty well. So that experience was amazing, in the sense that it may not have necessarily been him coming directly through him, but it was almost as if he was receiving an essence of my father.
And how long did you feel like your soul was missing, or part of you was missing?
Well, at the same time, bonded with him over those years, she had kind of gone away. So it was almost as if I needed to re-meet my dad in spirit versus just letting him go as the man who I didn't get to know, if you see what I'm saying.
Aniko, I have to ask you, I mean, in life we go through a lot of experiences, trials, tribulations, positives, negatives. We learn, we grow. Tell me how you retrieving your soul and understanding the process has helped you in future, obstacles or objectives or things that haven't gone your way, or you might feel your soul maybe wanting to leave you again. Have you been able to hold it? You know, do you have a choice from here on out knowing that your soul can leave, or does it have to leave and you have to retrieve it? Is it, you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I get what you're saying. I think it's just a life path. I think in some aspects you almost give away a part of yourself sometimes when you come across somebody that you really, really love. You tend to give, and sometimes you're not cognizant enough to pull it back, so you let it go. But I think in terms of this experience, I've always been on a path of transformation, just for myself personally, and I work in stars as well. I mean, I know those guys, with you guys in the studio.
These guys.
And hi. I know that, you know, and it's to work in any type of healing. Once it works with spirit, you have to work with your own spirit. You can be wounded, but you also need to be healing your own self to be able to heal others.
But let's talk to Trevor too, because Trevor also experienced some healing through shamanism, which is kind of why you, I'm guessing now, are practicing it yourself, or you're being trained in it. What was your experience like?
Very similar to Anika. I've been holding something for a long time, and when I went on the journey of the soul retrieval, it was amazing what I came up with, and to feel that I had lost that soul and to get it back is really, really powerful.
Empowering.
Right.
You know, this sounds very empowering to me. I really do feel spirits lifting. You know, as you're dishing out the dirt, I feel a lifting. Is that the natural process of things?
Yeah.
Yeah.